So let's move ahead. So we are covering module 2, which is Scrum Fundamentals. Now we will discuss about the Scrum team. So as a part of this session, we will look into the roles and responsibility of Scrum team members and how they are aligned in terms of delivering value through these roles. So Scrum team have majorly three main roles. The first one is the product owner, developers, and Scrum Master. So there are no sub teams or any kind of hierarchy in the Scrum team. So Scrum is a relatively flatter set of organization. The typical size of Scrum team can be around 10 people or less. If there are more people, it cannot be a Scrum team for sure. So the maximum size, as we call it, can be around 10, and there can be a lesser set of people as well. So the ideal team size can be around 6 to 8 teams in a Scrum team. So now the responsibility for all the product related activities, which includes stakeholder collaboration, verification, maintenance, or any kind of operational work, any kind of experimentation or research, or the development work, it has to be carried out by these three roles which is defined in the Scrum. So the product owner, developer, or Scrum Master, they are responsible for carrying out each and every activity in the Scrum. As we call, the entire team is accountable for creating valuable thing, useful increment as part of each and every sprint. So all team members, which includes developers, Scrum Master, product owner, they work in agreement. They work and ensure together to fulfill the value uh, for the product which they are trying to build. So these are the three primary roles which is existing in a Scrum team. So let's look into the responsibility of product owner. So what are the major responsibility of product owner? We will try to see it as part of this discussion. So product owner, as we call, is certainly the most accountable for maximizing the value of the product, which is resulting from the work of the Scrum team. So he is fundamentally accountable for ensuring the value is maximized. Also, product owner is accountable for effective product backlog management, which includes a set of activities like developing and explicitly communicating the product goal, creating and clearly communicating the product backlog items, ordering the product backlog items, ensuring that the product backlog is transparent, visible, and understood. So product owner is responsible to make sure these activities are carried out in a most effective manner to have a effective product backlog management. So their success fundamentally depends on the entire organization respecting their decisions. So product owner can only be successful when the people or the team in the organization they respect their decision, they stood by the elements which product owner believes in. So it is important that the team and the organization support the product owner in setting the right set of vision for the product and then follow it across. So now developers, the role of developer is the most critical one because they are the people who carry out the task on ground. So developers are the people in the Scrum who are committed to creating any aspect of usable increment in each sprint. So the specific skills which are needed by the developers are often broad and will vary from the knowledge of domain of work which they bring it onto the table. So there are certainly always accountable for following items or work packages. So they are responsible for creating a plan for the sprint, the kind of sprint backlog. They are responsible for instilling the quality by adhering to the definition of done, also adapting their plan each day towards the sprint goal, and developers hold each other accountable as professionals. So these are the key accountability for the developers when they work in a Scrum team. Now let's discuss about Scrum Master. So Scrum Master is accountable for establishing Scrum as per the definitions in the Scrum guide. So people try to confuse Scrum Master role to the equivalent of project manager. Certainly, Scrum Master is not a project manager. Scrum Master is more of a leader who serves the team. So previously there used to be a word called servant leader, which was used, but then from Scrum Guide 2020, it has been replaced by the leader who serves the team. So that's how Scrum Master is not a role which is equivalent to a project manager. So they do this by helping everyone understand the Scrum theory and practices, both within the Scrum team and within the organization. So Scrum Master basically is a enabler, and he is accountable for ensuring that everyone in the team adhere to the Scrum practices which are defined in the Scrum Guide. So if you see the latest version of Scrum Guide 2020, this document is hardly 20 pages. So this 20-page document do not prescribe in detail what are the roles and responsibility, but then it tells you the overall framework how the developers or scrum masters or product owners should work. The individual and detailed accountability can vary from organization to organization. So these things at times is not dictated through the Scrum guide, but then it provides us the overall guidance of how you can manage or carry out the Scrum practices. So Scrum Master is fundamentally accountable for the Scrum team's effectiveness. So Scrum Masters, they do this by enabling the team to improve its practices within the team and across the organization. So in a team, when you have a scrum master, he will be responsible for improving the overall scrum practices within the team and within the organization as well. So there are say multiple scrum masters in the organization, and then they are the true leaders who aimed at serving the scrum team and the organization at large. So scrum masters holds the responsibility of serving the team and serving the organization.